This is the end of the whale road and the whale, who spewed Nantucket bones on the thrashed swell, and stirred the troubled waters to whirlpools to send the Pequod packing off to hell. This is the end of them, three-quarters fools, snatching at straws to sail, seaward and seaward on the turn-tail whale. This is the end of running on the waves. We are poured out like water. Robert Lowell. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Kingsport 1851, Volume 2, Session 7. This is it. This is the conclusion. Come hell or high water, possibly both. My name's Kat. I organized this, and I was blessed with a really exceptional cast, so I'm going to introduce them, starting with my old companion in arms. We two have fought battles on many worlds and many times. So please let's welcome Justin, who's playing Eamon Burns, the Old Sea Dog and the Kinsman.
Hi, my name's Justin. As Kat mentioned, I'm playing Eamon Whistler Burns, and I am totally sure that everything will go fine tonight, and we'll all just have a nice time, and there will be no horrible eldritch tragedies.
I mean, I admire your optimism.
Thank you.
Next, let's speak to the captain of the ship. Someone I'm always happy to have at my table. The player, the captain, I would probably be really, really freaked out by. So please let's welcome Sarah, who's playing Clement Thorne, the captain and the lover of God.
Oh, yep, it's official now, everybody.
Status is officially, it's complicated.
It's always been complicated. But yes, Sarah, she, her, playing Clement Thorne, he, him. Last time he met his god, or the agent of his god, and was told that he got spat out because it wasn't worthy. So that's what he's been thinking about ever since that happened. But we're heading to a new location, courtesy of Elias Pembleton and his dead great uncle.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm literally having the dead hand of capitalism reach out and change your lives, but here we are. Next up is someone I've been extremely fortunate to play a bunch of times with this week, and we're going to cap it all. We're going from the sweet and romantic to the rivalrous to the, oh my god, the eldritch horror. So please let's welcome Marissa, who's playing Lilith Belvedere, the scholar and the believer.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marissa, she, her, and I am playing Lilith Belvedere, also she, her, who is a novelist, theorist, fiction writer, and cat mouse. Most notably, picked up that attribution last time. She, last session, maybe made a contract with an eldritch entity of some variety, but she was also very careful not to sign her name because names have power. So she put a paw print on the contract, and we're going to see where that leads. She is currently in pursuit of the palace and the parents in the palace, having ended last session by dropping a letter to the parents in the water, basically trying to go over the head of the messenger and contact the true power at play here. So yeah, everything's going to be great for Lilith, I'm sure.
Lilith wants to speak to your manager.
Correct.
Wow, okay. I hadn't thought of it. Well, yeah. So on that derailed track, please let's welcome someone I've been very fortunate to play with multiple times now this week as well. And he has been a wonderful addition to the Kingsport crew. So please let's welcome Dorian, who is playing Angus Mellinson, our Strider and Outcast.
Hi, yes, I'm Dorian. I'm playing Angus. We both use he and him pronouns. Angus is having a bit of a rough time with the fact that everyone on this boat is completely insane. He's coping admirably well under the circumstances, and we will see if that continues to be the case. Yeah, I don't know what my boy has in store, but we'll all find out together.
I mean, equal odds that you're the one that survives, right?
Yeah, he's probably going to have a long and peaceful life after this. No residual trauma, nothing.
The last time I ran this, we had 50% survival among the characters at the time, and that was with the ship being destroyed. So
Well, there you go.
yeah,
It's a great survival rate.
So speaking of which, as we open, since I gave that preview, you are approaching this island, a lone island in the wide Pacific Sea, in the area that now we would call Micronesia. Probably, that's assuming it's actually terrestrial. Who knows? And it is a rocky island with a broad lagoon in the middle of it, and the hint of some mound indicating it might be volcanic in origin. As the ship approaches, the proas of the inhabitants of the island are dashing around the ship. There are dolphins dancing in the sparkling waves, and Elias Pembleton and his boat crew are dragging a large box up on the deck. His boat crew, by the way, have managed to equip themselves with cutlasses. Just saying. They're not drawn or anything. They just have them. And Elias pries open the box, and out of a mess of salt and liquid, maybe alcohol, flows out on the deck. And then from the midst of this mess staggers creakily, slowly to his feet, Josias Pembleton.
Are we like all around witnessing this, or is this something that it's semi-privately, or?
I think it's. I think if you want to be witnessing this, you definitely can.
Okay.
So Pembleton staggers up to Elias and says, "It worked. The change has begun." And then slowly walks over to you, Captain Thorne.
Yeah, I'm like watching this like this is more or less what I expected. But yeah, I don't reach out to shake his hand or anything, but just like staring.
I beg your forgiveness, Captain. It was necessary to make sure that my ties with the land were completely severed. There is no going back for me now.
And I hope you made the right choice.
That remains to be seen.
But regardless, I don't think there's any going back for any of us now.
Therein lies my hope and possibly our destiny, you and I, Clement.
Yeah, like I kind of want to tell him about what God said to me the other month, but yeah, like in front of people, just.
So, one of the boat crew has dipped a bucket into the water and gives Josias a ladle full of seawater, which he drinks with relish.
Oh, he's probably mad at me.
Why is that?
Because I tried to open the cask.
Oh.
I feel like Lilith looks at Phoebe. How is Phoebe reacting to this?
She's got a scowl on her face, and she mutters something like, "So this is why he had me do it."
Do what?
The marriage.
Of the land and the sea. Yes, you said you were both.
He needed this power for his ritual to give to him that which he could not, that which he had not in himself. Well, I know this ritual. Oh yes, buried in salt, carried above the sea with the essential salts of an ancestor. The blood of an enemy. Oh, I know this spell, Josias Pembleton. She starts kind of shouting. I know this spell, and it is a wicked one.
Yes, but what does it do?
it starts the change in him. Though he was not a salt man to begin with, and Josiah shoots her a dirty look.
I just lean over to Lilith. Do you know what a salt man is?
Yes, well, I can guess. It presumably means he's chosen the sea and those things in it.
So he's like a worshiper of the Fathomless and the.
No, I wouldn't say that. The Fathomless are quite different. Well, I suppose it depends on your perspective, but to become a Fathomless, this is not how you go about it. This is how people who think they can take power go about it.
Oh,
So Corey, who's as usual kind of drifting around without anybody noticing her, takes her pipe out of her mouth and says, "You're very close, both of you. Salt is a word we use among ourselves. It means that he is one of the people of the sea. I would have said he was a salt man, but some say that you're only salt if you change. If you go down into the waves and you become sufficient to live there."
oh, you mean like you can like live under the water?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But only the parents can make the change.
No, the parents gave a gift to our lineage, but our lineage is no longer unmixed. Some
I
who are
think-
born in Kingsport are salt, and some are not.
Through all this, Angus has been standing, a little ways away from other people, watching, as he often does. And he definitely started by watching what was going on down with the resurrection of Josiah and all. He's too far away to have heard any of that conversation down there. But now he's, sort of started paying more attention to the conversation that these folks are having. And I think he's not close enough to be in that conversation, but he's close enough to be following that conversation. And I think it would be apparent to anyone who looked his way that he is, he's listening.
So, Corey, are you salt?
All us Marshas have been. That is not the story that we will eventually tell, but Innsmouth is a very salty place. Amen. Burns.
Oh, and the Pembletons, they're all these they're salted too.
They were one of the great families.
Oh.
But they angered the parents, and thus they were prevented from coming to Innsmouth. So it was a Pembleton who had the idea to create it. Obadiah Pembleton.
Are these parents, are they fathomless, or are they some other kind of divine being?
I'm no theologian. They are life.
Well, so is everything that's alive, surely.
In essence, divided.
Alike in kind, if not in degree.
I don't know. I, for one, was content to hear the words and speak the rituals and live my life. Innsmouth is a very cloistered place. And with my father's new wife, there's less room for me in it.
Oh, that's rough.
Her kind does not generally remarry, but Marshas have been exceptional always.
Her kind?
The people of the sea, Angus Mellinson. They are my people.
Are you
It just sounded as as though your father's new wife was some different kind than your father yourself.
My father took a long voyage to the Pacific and came back with a new wife. Mayhap he came here to this very place.
Do the people of the sea live in the city? The palace?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Oh, you've not heard of the palace? Okay.
If you mean Great Rilia, we have.
Is it the city underwater?
It is.
Then we speak of the same.
Dreams, sort of. Some of us reverence the dreamer. I was always taught that the dreamer was not well for mortals to deal with him. His dreams are not human dreams.
Are they star dreams?
They say he came from the stars, but...
And the messenger's message makes sense.
The messenger generally speaks the truth, but it is not always apparent at the moment.
So I have heard.
So, with that, the ship slowly glides into the lagoon, and Nathaniel takes the way off it. The anchors slide down into the shallow floor beneath the keel, and you're in the island. And the people on it are, frankly, by anyone's aesthetics, quite beautiful. And seem quite friendly. They wave to you from the shore.
Is this island known to you, Mr. Burns?
I've never been this way before. We usually stick to open ocean or the major ports on these whaling voyages. Kind of wish I would have brought a cleaner shirt with me now, though. This isn't exactly what I was expecting on this island. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't nice, friendly people. Yeah.
I think people who seem friendly can change very quickly if you're not careful.
I just take Angus by the shoulder and just kind of scooch to the back of the crowd, away from the other people. Mr. Angus, I just want to have a word with you in private real quick before whatever happens. With all this going on, I've been trying to keep my mind on the safety of the crew above all else. It's been a bit strange with well, like I need to tell you what's been going on. Every other person we talk to is bringing up strange divine beings and who knows what living at the bottom of the ocean next to who else knows what.
Yeah, it all feels a little beyond my pay scale, frankly.
Oh, hi, same. I left Kingsport and it was the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and now we've got parents and dreamers and messengers. But what I'm saying is, you, out of everyone, seem to have your wits about you. So let's hope you can keep them, and let's hope I can keep them. But we may need to make a hasty retreat at some point in case things start to go bad. So, stick close. Who knows? We may have to drag a couple of our friends and crewmen away from whatever's going on for their own safety, even if they don't necessarily like it.
Do you think it's likely to come to that? That's not said disbelievingly, by the way. That's just a very factual kind of inquiry.
I don't know what to expect next, if I'm going to be honest with you. For all I know, we're stepping into the literal Eden, or into the very mouth of hell, or something in between. I don't know. For all we know, Mr. Pembleton there is going to get off on the boat, and he's going to go amongst those people and wave us off, and we're going to go whaling. Or someone's going to try to eat us. I don't know. But I want to be prepared because I already know I don't know what to expect.
Well, I can handle that. Certainly.
Aye. Good. So, make sure you're ready for everything. I'm definitely going to keep a knife with me just because, I mean, who knows?
I try to be prepared.
Good.
I'm not fond of being caught unawares. It's a good way to cut your life very short when you do what I do. So.
Aye. And don't make any deals, I guess. It seems to be deals are a strange thing going around lately. And
Not in the
maybe,
habit.
and maybe don't get married to the ocean or the wind or whatever the hell Phoebe did.
Also, not in the habit.
Good. And if I do anything stupid, hit me.
How hard?
Enough that I learned my lesson. I won't be mad about it later.
He gives like a slow nod, but he nods.
All right, let's join the others, because now I'm curious.
Yeah, we'll see what we find.
So are you lowering boats, Captain?
If someone else would like to lower boats, they are more than welcome to. I don't know. Clement is still debating, like, should I even go? Maybe I should just stay on the ship forever.
Perhaps you should talk that over with one of these fine characters.
Do I want to meet God for real?
Yeah, who would you go to for advice if you were struggling with that kind of question?
I guess.
Plenty of people have.
Like, definitely not.
Plenty of people have tried to advise you. I think we've all tried to give you advice of one kind or another at this point.
Yeah, some of it went over better than others. I guess after everything that's happened, probably Whistler. Yeah, like as people are, or was like, they're looking at me like, should we lower boats? Then it's like, wave a hand, whatever.
So yeah, I slide up to stand next to the captain, waiting for orders on what to do next.
Are you going to go?
I definitely am planning to go unless you give me orders to stay, and I will gladly follow those orders.
You can do what you like.
Thank you. I do think you should let Templeton go. Feel as if they might get a bit rowdy if they don't have a chance to bring, Templeton Senior over to this island.
That's what they came here for. I don't.
Did you know?
I suspected. I knew as much as I could know without going down and looking.
Hi. They made me stop, or they asked me to stop when I had discovered it. I figured you already knew, so I didn't really bring it up. I didn't know that he was in there. I just thought it was a body. They were gonna lay him to rest and family burial plot, but I was wrong, I guess.
Oh, that letter that was sent, that was given to me. He sealed it when he was on the ship, I think.
Aye.
But I don't know I don't know what matters anymore. I don't know what. I don't know if I should go. I don't.
Do you play chess, Captain?
I don't make a habit of it. No.
Someone tried to teach me a few years back at a bar because everyone else was too shit-faced to play. I wasn't very good, but he explained what all the pieces did. I kind of feel like one of them wee fellas, the pawns. Like, we have all these important figures around us, behind us, and then we have, we're just the little pawns making one move at a time across the board. Just trying to stay afloat. We're part of the game too, But then there's all these, big fellas behind us. They're gonna do the big stuff,
Do you think we're all just paper people?
No, it's just, we're pawns because we're pawns, It's like I was born this and I wasn't born a dog, so I'm a whaler, I'm not going to be a god because I'm not a god.
The metaphor here.
I think I am too. I'm not good at metaphors.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at you like, is there a point? I'm sorry, is there a point to this?
To this voyage or to everything?
To this story about chess people, about or any of it really.
No, but sorry. I'm a little shocked by everything that's going on. Yeah. My point being is that we're not the important ones right now. We're not the big movers, the big shakers, but we're part of this too. We should see it through to the end. Because that was one of the things that the guy who taught me to play was like, you get your pawn over the other side, you get to become the queen. You become the big shot, the big important person. You make it all the way there. Well, we have, look at what we survived, you and I. We didn't just face down some whales. We faced down that Leviathan there. We had a conversation with the damn thing. Yeah, I know you had your heart set. You're a true believer. You wanted to believe that this god, this messenger, wanted you, but talk to the crew. There's about 15 different gods at the bottom of the ocean here. One of them's gotta love you. I don't know what's gonna happen when we get on that island. I know that I plan on going and then coming back and then leaving. I don't know if I'm going to be a whaler after this, I'll tell you that much. I still love the sea. I want to be here. I just don't know if I want to be involved with whatever's going on below it anymore. It's getting way too above my head. But I want to see this through to the end, Here we are. Is this island even on any of our charts?
And like just watching you for this kind of monologue bit, and like you got it like so exactly right, and we're so like blasé about it, like yes, this is how things are.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of watching like the look on his face like goes from just exasperated to like fond.
Think about it. Come on, Captain. You're Clement Thorn. You're the captain who faced down the Leviathan twice. That's not nothing.
And like reaches down and like puts a hand in your shoulder, like, okay, now you're just piling it on.
A little.
All right. Lower the boat.
And at that, you row up to the shore. The people on the shore kind of give way to give you space as you pull the boats up, but one of them comes striding forward, wearing a brightly patterned kilt of some kind. Let's see, guys. Spreek je Nederlands? Parlez-vous français?
Ein bisschen.
By your accent, I can tell you're a Yankee.
And you speak English, so we'll use that.
Yes. It's not a very complicated language.
Josiah has come with us, I assume, and Elias and all of them. Probably on different boats. Did anything happen when it got on a rowboat?
No.
Okay.
Fine. And who am I addressing?
The captain and crew of the Calypso. And your name?
You may as well call me Abel.
And you live here?
Oh, yes.
And looking over at Elias, and this is where we were meant to be.
I know as much as you do, Captain. This is where my great uncle wished us to go, yes.
It's kind of like look around, and does it look like a pretty normal island?
I mean, yes, I don't know what your experience was with Southern Pacific Islands, but yeah, it's got a beautiful sandy shore. There are fruit-bearing trees, lining the entire shore area. You can see that there's several small streams that are flowing into the lagoon. The sky is brilliant blue, and the sun beats down warmly on everybody's head. Well, I'm sure your crew is very tired and wishes to enjoy this place, but I feel that some purpose has driven you here, Clement Thorne. It's written upon your brow in letters of fire.
Then tell me where I'm supposed to be going.
I shall. So, there's a well-trod trail that leads through the woods, and clearly care has been taken. Like, there's powdered shells that form the roadway, and there's a lot of decoration and extremely fine carving and occasionally tapestries of some kind. And then when you get through the woods, there is, well, a colossal stone ruin. Gigantic blocks all piled up on top of each other. Clearly there were arches and bridges and large structures here at one time.
I think Angus, has followed the group that came off the boat, and I think he's been enjoying being on land, and in particular being in a slightly wilder area for the first time in a long time. I think he looks somewhat exasperated at the ruins, like, oh, it's more of this weird mystical nonsense. It's just a fleeting thing before he regains his composure. He's just like, oh no.
Abel turns back to everyone like, this was our city and temple, but we no longer needed it, and so we let it fall into ruin. But this is our most sacred place. And he points at this pond that's between the arms of two ruined wings of a building, perhaps, or a wall. And the water is very still and not particularly translucent.
Almost like a mirror. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to that and look.
Oh no, this again.
Lilith, do I need to ask?
No, she will definitely go.
So to Clement, when you arrive, it actually looks just kind of disappointing. It's just dark water that's extremely still. But Lilith, as you look in, your natural philosopher's eyes begin to slowly pick out structure until you realize that There are two congealed gelatinous masses in the water. One seems to be dark and the other more translucent, almost light. And with a sudden jolt, you think that maybe that water is not water, but is part of them. Now, I have a move. When you gaze at the parents, they will
Yeah.
show you who you desire, but roll beauty.
No. What? My beauty is nothing.
All of you
Essentially,
spec wrong for this.
How dare I not have the right build for this moment?
No, you were
you
hot.
That's
all
what this
were
game is all
you
about.
all were two beyond. So,
I have the lowest beauty of anybody.
essentially, what you're
I'm the only hot one.
essentially what you're dicing for is the split of 3 hold. You may use your hold to ask questions during the interaction with the person you desire. But the hold I will use to cause terrible things to happen eventually. It's the hold the parents have on you.
I welcome the
So-
hold that the parents have on me. I think.
Name
Of course you
who you desire and roll.
Oh. See, there's a very straightforward answer to this question.
Yes,
But there's also a more interesting, well, there's also a very interesting one. Are the parents entities? Are they a thing you can desire?
Yes.
Because what does it look like, I wonder, because I think these two things are warring in Lilith. There is her existing desire for Lavinia, but equally, I think, especially since the messenger has come, there is a desire to be one with the parents, to be what they are.
If you would like to take a minute to think it over, you can back away from the pool.
I would like to take that moment. I
mean,
think I will determine for Lilith, I think, who wins out.
You could talk to Lavinia about it.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it. Clement, are you also looking in the pool?
I mean, yes, but Kat said it was much more disappointing for me, so I don't know if I'm supposed
Oh,
to
but the move still works.
Okay. Oh gosh. I mean, I have God down as my true love. But that's just sad. Loving someone who doesn't love you back. I'm going to answer I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want that anymore, you know?
So you don't know who you desire. You're leaving it up to me, huh?
I suppose so. I will roll. And that's plus beauty. That is 9 and 0, so 9. Oh wait, this isn't
If you're gonna ask
like
if you're
love is
plus one,
true, or I'm meeting someone important for the first time. These are what all might affect that roll.
I mean, you could probably claim your plus one ongoing for something to do something God.
Okay, I'll do that then. So 10.
All right, so I'll make it to claim 1 hold on you, and you get to hold 2 on me. But what happens is the water stirs and then gelatinously congeals slowly into a human form that gradually takes on definition and then even clothing, and then steps from the surface of the pool onto the land, and it is Edlund. Oh,
So you said 2 or 3 hold that I'm getting.
you get 2.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Clement.
And like, well, just because I changed, who my true love was, doesn't mean you stop having feelings for somebody.
Back for one last chance, huh?
It just staring at him. Are you real?
That has always been the question you asked, and it was never the right question. Has it ever once given you a happy answer, Clement? Were the memories of me real? Was the ghost of my lips on yours real, even when I was dead, buried in the cold earth?
You were real once.
So were you.
And reach out, just to touch his shoulder or something. Or no. Let's put the palm of my hand on his chest, right? Where there would be a heartbeat if he's got one.
You feel a heartbeat.
Oh.
Am I to be your oracle again? Perhaps this time you'll make runes out of my bones.
I don't think I could ask it of you twice.
Well, third time pays for all.
And then for the first time it kind of occurs to him to look, I guess Lilith is standing nearest, do you see this? Kind of look.
What does Lilith see?
A pretty handsome looking English guy that emerged from the pool.
What do the people who are not at all connected to this weirdness also see this, or?
Yep.
Okay. He's
Casts
there.
a shadow and everything.
Is this Edland? Are you? And I think she tries to speak to Edland. Are you Edland?
Yeah, and Clement gets this look on his face, just for a split second, don't say his name.
I lean over to Lilith. Aye, that's Edland.
Yo, you never met him.
Oh, I thought he was on the boat. With the
No,
Solano.
he was not. It only in my dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he had a picture. But
this
yes.
is your philosopher. Hello, miss. Yes, Lord Edland, if you please.
Pleasure to meet you. Are you a construct or are you sentient?
I haven't the faintest idea of what you're speaking of.
Are you real?
What's real? Are you real?
I believe so.
Well, there you have it.
Angus has his hand at his side in a way that is probably not super obtrusive looking, but he is prepared to grab his knife if he needs it, because this situation just got weird.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'd like you to come with me.
Me, Clement? As an insurance policy?
Would you think so little of me?
Well, you have killed me twice, once physically and once metaphorically, so...
I let you go.
When you let the dead go, that's like killing them.
Well, then I'm sorry again.
Yes. Yes, you are. Aren't you? And he touches your cheek. He's like, oh, Clement. If only you had looked for the ocean in the salt of your tears. How much happier you would have been. Well, ask me your questions. I shall oracle for thee.
Are you coming with me?
What remains to be seen.
And just like I'm frustrated with you right now. I can't just take a few steps off.
What if I told you that I was here to offer you escape? Okay, count this. Is this one of your hold you're spending? Just so I know.
No,
Okay.
that was me asking him a question.
Yeah, he doesn't get oracular until you spend that hold.
Like it is up to him entirely. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a few steps off, and Lilith can ask her question or do her thing if she'd like. I'm just I need to go look at some trees.
I'm sorry, this is so awkward for everyone.
I'm curious. If Lilith approaches the pool again and divines the creatures within, the parents, does who she desires rise up next to Edlund or replace Edlund?
You'll have to
Well,
find
what do
out.
I look like? A natural philosopher?
I guess there's only one way to find out. She's going to do that.
Name who you desire.
Oh, I'm so tempted to see what happens if what she desires is the parents, but I think I have to go for the emotional core, and so who she desires is Lavinia Hopbramble.
Roll plus beauty.
That is a 5 and a 1. 6.
Well, you get the hold one immediately. On a miss, ask anyway, but expect a dire fortune very soon.
Cool.
That's what my note says.
Delightful.
Cool.
So again, the water congeals, rises up, cycles through different forms, and then Lavinia steps from the water. Well, hello, Boz.
Dearest Sam, I am drunk on storms and dreams again, my dear.
I would have thought it would have been port or rum.
Perhaps that as well.
You don't seem dressed for the occasion. It's rather stifling here, don't you think?
I've been on a whaling ship. My clothes, however they may be, have weathered much.
How horrible are Lavinia's clothes right now?
Oh, you mean how horrible
Not Lavinia,
are Lilith? Yeah.
Lilith.
They are pretty dirty. Maybe not covered in blood, but the grime of a whaling ship, I presume. She's tried to wash things on the deck, but
Very often ships wash their clothes in salt water, which really did not get them very clean.
And would not be
these are
great for
also
silk, I imagine.
silk.
Nope.
Correct. So these are not this is not a dress you could ever sell.
Well, we just celebrated Yule back home. I hung a stocking by the fire, but Father Christmas didn't come.
He has a way of missing houses sometimes.
Well, and the only thing I really wanted was for you to be safe in return.
Parents, this is where you fail. What a lovely illusion. I wish I could believe it.
Well, don't you have a question for me then?
Speak plainly to me, parents. I have come to seek the change, to seek your form. I wish an audience with you.
We shall reveal ourselves before you leave this place.
I was burned by the white-hot head of a far-distant star. I imagine I am prepared for you.
Dear child, no one is ever prepared for us.
Then I await.
As for the boon you request, it is not easy to take a person of the land and bring them to the people of the water, our people. The myth persists so many places. You perhaps have heard the story of Jonah, which is a great bastardization of what happened. But we did take men and women down into the waves and the bellies of our messengers and worked upon them a sea change and made them something rich and strange, creatures more to our working.
So it is possible.
As we say, there are echoes in so many stories. Do you know the tale of the mermaid?
Which one?
The one who lost her voice when she walked upon the land.
She died at the end, I believe.
But that was not the price she was asked to pay.
Am I this mermaid?
Do you remember the price she was asked to pay?
I'm sure you will tell me.
To kill her true love.
She was faced with a choice.
Now so are you. And Lavinia walks back into the water, and rather than just slowly congeal, she just like flattens like a pancake in a way that is shocking and disturbing. Might as well take a harm.
That is very understandable. Harm
Nick?
taken.
I just Eamon looks over at Angus. Are you gonna go?
I don't think I would care for anything it wanted to show me. No.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go.
Angus sort of gives a half shrug, kind of a your funeral expression on his face.
Yeah, pretty much.
That one arm hasn't moved from like where he can grab his weapon if he needs to.
I just gotta saddle up to the pool very kind of sheepishly, like pull off my little cap and whatnot. Hello. I don't know what else to call you besides the parents. That's the only name and title anyone has provided me. So hello to your parents. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't have anyone I desire. It's never been the kind of person that I've been. But you know, I just like being a sailor and being with the crew and being out to sea. That's what I desire, and I strive to continue doing that. I don't know if that's enough of an answer, but it's the truth. So it's the best answer that I have.
So who do you desire to see?
I think maybe it's, I don't know if we've named him, but like maybe we could see like the old captain of the Solano.
Captain Rogers, you named
Yeah,
him.
it was Captain Rogers.
Okay. Roll plus beauty.
Oh boy. That actually didn't go as badly as I thought it was going to. So that is a 7.
Oh, congratulations. You get 1 hold. Oh, well, sorry, baby. I'm suffering from an invasive cat species here.
Cat incursion. That's who we all desire to see, really, is cats.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, my nickname is a desperate cry for help or views. So, Justin, out of the pond and that same sequence that we spent a lot of money on the CGI, that's why we keep recycling it. Steps Captain Rogers, burly old HMS officer, takes one look at you. Is like, Burns, what are you doing,
sir?
slouching there?
Oh, no, sir. No, I was just bowing my head to...
I'll cuff your ears like a middy if you show such a attitude upon my deck.
Oh, aye, Captain. We're on shore leave. Time for a bit of relaxing, don't you think?
Not under the conditions we're at. Come with me.
Aye.
So you go stalking off through the woods, and you think you've come clear out to the other side of the island because you've passed by that volcanic-looking rock. And he points to the beach, and you can see there's a bunch of people there. They don't look like natives of the island, I mean. And a couple of guys kind of come out of the trees holding they're not even harpoons. They've got like boat hooks as weapons. Like, who are you? Wait, you're a Yankee.
Oh, yeah. I'm from shipped out of Kingsport. Who are you lot?
There's a ship here.
Aye, is a ship.
Oh, well, thank goodness. Of course, now I feel rather foolish. We're halfway through building our schooner.
Oh, how long have you been here, man?
Not long, perhaps a couple weeks. My name is Williams, Peter Williams. I was second mate on board the brig Thetis.
Hi. Eamon Burns. Everyone calls me Whistler. I'm the first mate of the Calypso.
Pleased to meet you, Eamon, and he holds out a hand.
I shake it?
Well, come on.
Hi, I think I will.
So you and Rogers walk across the beach, and indeed, they have taken apart several of their boats, and they are gradually constructing a 40-foot long schooner.
Jeez.
It wasn't that. I mean, it's probably longer than 40 foot because the longboat itself is about 30 feet long. So they're basically building up the keel of the longboat and trying to turn it into something that can carry them more substantially. We don't really have a bearing, but I'm pretty sure that we'll find the societies if we sail to the southwest. Failing that, well, we've got a couple of Baltimore sailors. They assure me they know how to rig a schooner to get us all the way to Java if we must.
I mean, your headings is pretty spot on. A little bit south, a little bit west. It definitely get you through to some of the islands. You keep going, you're gonna hit Australia.
We did rescue a sextant, but unfortunately, when we fought the locals here, I broke it on the head of one of them.
Oh, well, we have that and some food if you want. Why'd you get into a scuffle with the locals? They've been nothing but nice to us.
Well, when we landed and saw them, we just didn't know what to think, so.
Aye. But
we may have done wrong. We've found piles of fruit here and there.
Oh, we have Plenty of sailor's delight back on the boat. Salty meat, salty food.
I never thought that I would welcome the taste of salt junk again, but I can definitely expect a solid meal in me.
Aye, we can give you that. How many people are here anyway?
Well, there were 20 of us went into the water, and we are 12 now.
Aye. All right. You 12 come with me. Let's get you a proper meal and a hammock.
All right. So Angus isn't going to look. Lilith has had her answer. So, hi, Clement.
Yeah, and just so I'm clear, did they like trade places, Headland and Lavinia, or did
No,
he stick
Lavinia
around?
came up.
Okay. Yeah, to like turn back around after a while. There are a lot of things, I suppose, that I'd like to ask you.
Mhm.
But having seen Lilith's conversation, I wonder if it's you that would be answering them. And do you know what he felt?
Well, I certainly think I do. There are vibrations and emanations, Clement. You know this. It was part of the magic we did. Especially when someone dies. And those become a part of those who partake in that ritual. So,
And what did that get us in the end?
well, it brought you here, didn't it? Here you are, face to face with God.
Who tells me I am unworthy?
Well, perhaps you asked the wrong God.
Shouldn't I ask the one who came for me in the dark?
Well, Clement, I know you weren't a church-going person, but, you know, perhaps you should confess your sins and beg forgiveness if you have transgressed in some way.
If my belief is true, then God should tell me that I haven't, because everything I did was in service to Him.
I want you to picture something. I want you to picture a man in a little room, and he has a book, and the book is arranged such that when you open it to any given page, there's a symbol, and across it on the opposite page is another symbol. And from time to time, a door opens and a piece of paper comes in and has one of the symbols, and he looks it up in the book, and then looks up and then takes a piece of paper that has the other symbol and sticks it through a different window. Now, such a person is doing something. They don't know what, though. Do you get my drift, Clement?
I'm the one sitting in the room doing things for reasons he can't comprehend.
Yes. But perhaps you could learn to read those symbols. Perhaps you made a few mistakes along the way, but in this case, ignorance may well be a defense.
Yeah, look at him and like step toward him, like into the water that I think is water, but is actually goo. Like, I don't know how deep this is, but I'll go,
You don't sink into it at all. You're standing on it.
Interesting.
I don't think trying to force your way into their audience is perhaps your best option, Clement. As a matter of fact, I'm here, I guess, to tell you one thing. You have one last exit that you may take you off this course. That you have peace. Prevent you from doing, well, inhuman things after all.
Do you think what I did to you inhuman?
Oh no, killing people is very human.
And I think, like, reaching out to touch him again. The last time we spoke, you were more angry with me. And I think you had a right to be.
Join me, Clement. Join me in death before your curse falls upon everyone around you.
I gave them a choice. Same
Angus
as I gave
is-
you.
Angus is very tensed here. He is prepared to make some kind of move if, well, who knows, if something seems to start to happen.
Yeah, I will ask a question. I think my first.
I think you already asked one of those holds.
Oh, what was the one I asked then?
But
And what
yeah,
was the answer that I got?
about what to do, why you were being rejected by God.
Gotcha. And the answer was I made some mistakes along the way.
And you need to do penance,
Oh, gotcha.
or at least ask
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, if you want to
No,
dispute
that's on.
Yeah.
When I met the Leviathan again weeks back, he told me that pat me back up because I wasn't worthy. Is it possible to be worthy? Or
Well,
is that a fool's errand?
Well, Clement, neither English nor the thought of humans is probably that creature's first language. It mayhaps that the correct translation would have been, you weren't ripe.
Yeah. And I would like to ask another question, but I think that is it.
Well, actually, I did make one more note on my move here. You may give the MC another hold to ask an additional question.
Well, I've only got 2 hold left.
Oh no! I have 1 hold on you. You used
okay.
your 2 holds.
Sure. Why not?
Ask away, and then we'll take our break after that.
The offer you just made me. The offer you just made me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mean it?
Oh yes. I know this is your first captaining, but You are supposed to have some sort of responsibility for your crew and your command. Even if you are trying to apotheose, I guess.
That was never what I wanted.
Well, you can't serve two masters, Clement. And you can't expect that the arc of your last covenant will survive your consecration to a new.
I don't know who I've sworn myself to. I thought I did. Was it to you? Was it to the Leviathan? Was it to the people Lilith calls the parents? I am a man alone in a room, writing symbols on papers for reasons he cannot comprehend.
You don't have to be alone. And there is a person you can comprehend.
If you tell me it is myself.
No, I told you what to do. Join me in death before your curse falls upon all around you.
Look over at Whistler, I think.
Didn't he wander off?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, look over for Whistler, and he's not there.
I'm here. And like I said, I am watching very closely.
Yeah.
Lilith is also here, but you probably don't want to look to her, I would imagine.
Give me some advice, Lilith. How to
Some
act
of you-
like a true believer.
Some and or all of you may have to die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Well, I guess like what he's asking in this moment, right? Like, which is the question he would have asked of Whistler, were he here, is like, because Clement's been very much about, where possible, giving people the choice, you know, to jump over the ship before I throw you off. You know.
Now you're being offered that choice yourself, it sounds like.
I guess. Well, sort of, but like as a proxy for myself and also a whole bunch of other people. So, like, I guess I'd like to read some thoughts here. Can I read two people's thoughts simultaneously?
I mean, it's just spending hold, so you... Yeah, I guess so.
Let me...
I know, it's the last session.
Yeah, okay. Sure, I'll go. Roll plus brain. That's an 8, which I think is still
You get
an
1.
8. Yeah. Can I ask it of both at once, or?
That seems to me to be unfair, so I think you have to choose.
Choosing's pretty interesting here. I think Clement knows both of them well enough to know he'll get very different.
Yeah. And like the answer, like both of your answers do matter. Angus, what do you wish I'd do right now?
Angus is thinking a lot of thoughts about the ways various things in the wild will mimic other things, sometimes to keep themselves safe, sometimes to present themselves as less of a danger than they are. He definitely thinks that you should step away from that pool and that facsimile of your lost love and basically just get the hell off of this precipice, like, right now. As I think has been demonstrated, he doesn't care for the wasteful loss of life. Yeah.
Very true, very true.
And chasing after something that looks like someone you cared for would strike him as a very wasteful loss of life indeed, I think.
Yeah, I think I could look back at Edlund and say, if it were just the two of us and those who were willing.
Well,
and you'll see Angus relax slightly out of the corner of your eye. Because he was going to like try and fucking like jump you if you had actually like made a move to.
As you say, they made their choices and you've made yours now. So long, Clement. I have enjoyed these little chats.
And still reaching after him as he collapses into nothing.
So, as the sun falls, the homey smell of roasting fish comes up from the beach, where a feast is being prepared. There's all kinds of good foods to eat, fruits and manioc and all kinds of things. And Abel welcomes you all. Tonight is, after all, the night of the equinox. The world is in balance again. So we have our feast of welcoming. It's fortunate that you arrived for it.
Fortunate.
Well, after all, you'll get to meet the elders.
Gonna go back on the boat for a bit.
You can if you want. Nothing will prevent you from rowing back out there.
I think Angus would also try to find a moment to check in with the captain after that fairly
Do you want to come back with me to the boat?
fraught moment. He'll certainly follow you at least as far as to where you're planning on rowing back.
Okay.
After that, who
Just
knows?
walking through the trees for a bit.
Yeah, I think you probably go off on your own, and then he'll sort of fall in beside you. He moves fairly quietly.
Just the same as you did when we were leaving the church back in Kingsport.
Yep. It's just how he moves, kind of. Captain.
Angus.
Surprised not to see you staying for the festivities. Seems like your kind of people, I guess. You doing all right?
I don't know if they are my people.
He nods fairly easily. He looks relatively relaxed right now, and he's Do you know much about animals, Captain?
I was never a hunter.
Well, there's these I imagine there's a lot of things, but I'm not so well versed when you get away from my home turf. There's these turtles, and they have a little tongue, and they shake it to look like a tasty worm or something that fish or other things might enjoy. And when something comes close, they bite down with most force I've seen from any animal that size. I can tell you that for certain.
Bait, you think? It's a trap, but is it a trap still if you know it is a trap and go nonetheless?
In my experience, I would say yes. It's just a trap that you walk in eyes open, but it can still, take off your hand or whatever else.
And what if that's the point?
I mean, that is the point on its end. That doesn't mean you have to play into it. It's
And what if, in this metaphor, Angus Mallinson, the turtle is God?
I don't see that it makes much difference. It's still something that's got its own goals. It's living in its own way, and you don't have to do yourself harm to to appease it.
And what if, in this metaphor, Angus Mallinson, the turtle, is someone that you love?
I mean, it wasn't, though. That's the whole point. The bait was. Sure, I don't question that. But I don't think you really think that your gentleman was, came out of that pool unless he had some pretty unusual skills, I guess.
Who knows what the dead can do?
In my experience,
Came
very
to
little.
me in a dream not so very long ago. And if I don't have faith that it was him, then what is the point of having faith at all?
Well, that is a very good question, I'd say. It's not one I can answer for you. It's not one I've
But
seen
you're
much point in
trying
asking
to,
myself.
aren't you? Now,
I'm not trying to do anything other than say that I think it would have been damn foolish for you to do yourself an injury back there, because whatever that was told you to, regardless of whether it was your gentleman or not, frankly. And I don't see that faith changes that much one way or the other. And I'm here now to make sure that you're not sneaking off on your own so that you can follow through in the end after all.
do you know how many times I've drowned?
I don't see how I could.
3.
Look, I've nearly died a few times myself.
No,
We
that's
both
not what
do
I mean.
dangerous things.
That's not what I mean at all.
All right. All right, then he does it sort of like, appeasing.
I think you mean well, but I don't think you know. You'll excuse me, but I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I probably don't. I don't think you do either. I'm not conceited enough to think I understand anything about how things that aren't people think. I just know what makes sense for people to do.
I'm going to retrieve something, that's all.
All right, well,
If you'd like
If
to
you-
come and make sure that that is all that I do, grab an oar.
I've said my piece, and you know my feelings, and you'll make the choices you make, but think about how they'll affect the rest of us, maybe. And I think he'll, having said his piece, I think he will turn around and head back to where the other people are with these strange people from the island, unless you actively.
Mm-hmm. I do wonder if he might be trying to manipulate somebody.
I don't know. I think it honestly at this point doesn't make a massive difference to him. Like he's communicated very clearly, like his concerns with, the idea that Clement would do himself an injury, and you've communicated that you aren't that interested in Angus's opinion. So I think he is at a point where he's just like, look, like you're a grown man.
What are you doing? Gotcha. All right, then we shall part ways at the shore, and I'll go row this little rowboat to the ship and get the mirror and come back.
Very good. So Angus, you return to the feast. The crew of the Calypso is enjoying themselves. One thing that's become apparent to you in walking around these people is that they are from several different cultural groups in Micronesia and possibly Polynesia, who have all come to this place.
Yeah, and I think that, like, the general situation here, the general vibe of, like a celebration around the equinox, a group of people from multiple different, like, native communities, etc. Like, that is probably the kind of setting he is more comfortable with than a lot of what he has experienced on this voyage to date. But of course, it's a situation where he is tempted to let his guard down because of elements of it that are familiar, but he's nonetheless on edge because, he was in those ruins. He saw the weirdness. He is aware that, like, there is stuff going on here other than that. But, like, the trappings of this situation are, like, he is probably better equipped to feel at home with that than most of the people from this boat. So
yeah, you definitely see Corey kind of standing alone under a tree, smoking and holding a bowl of kava. She glances over at you and like, damned few of these people speak Aklo, and it looks like that one who called himself Abel's the only one that speaks English worth a darn. So
he gives a little shrug, and he's just like, well, they're from a lot of different places. No reason they should all speak as we do.
That's fair. What do you think of the island?
It's an island. Decent forest, although oddly, it's quiet here in a way that I'm not used to. But maybe I'm not listening for the right things.
It's a well-protected place.
Protected from what, though? I feel like I should be hearing more bird song and things crashing around in the brush at the very least.
Well. Can we not also have a garden, Angus? We of the sea.
I've never cared that much for gardens.
I understand. They are an indulgence, but...
No, they're a bit of a false thing, aren't they? I mean, they're real. They're there, but they're not true.
They are, but perhaps some of my people wish to look upon the land from time to time, and I can't see how it would not be a false thing that they make.
Well, it's hardly just your people who do that kind of thing, so I'm not going to fault them for it, but it's not where I'm at home. It's close to... It's trying to be the kind of place where I'm at home, but it's not. It's not there.
I understand. It's a very sophisticated way of thinking about it, Angus. I would not have thought it that way.
And he sort of shrugs, like, I don't know about that, but...
Well, she looks like she's going to say something, but at that moment, there's a loud blowing of multiple conch horns, and out from the waves step, well, people, but Many of them are tall, but many of them are also stooped. All of them are covered in some sort of scaly skin that varies in tone from shark skin to the overlapping plate mail of a koi fish. Some are brightly colored, others are dull or colored light on the bottom and dark on the top. They all have finned fingers and arms, but in different places. Some have a crest upon their head. Their faces are human, but there's definitely something odd about the transformation that has made them like this. And I get to ask people a question. When you meet the elders, I will ask you if you find them beautiful or terrifying. Either answer is acceptable. They just have different results. Since we've set the scene with you, Angus, I'll take your answer first. After all, I am a great Rilkian, so beauty is just the beginning of terror.
See, I guess the word that my instinct goes to is something along the lines of like fascinating or alien, which is sort of in between.
That is
It's not repulsed or anything, so I guess closer to beautiful than terrifying, but
okay. You will take +1 forward because you are inspired by this moment. Lilith.
Well, I think we know Lilith's answer. She definitely finds them beautiful.
I mean, it could have been that in the actual moment they were different than she had imagined, I suppose.
I mean, you could also play this like, whoa, wait, this wasn't what I signed up for. Sorry.
Never mind. This is what is meant.
Shark people. Okay, wrong.
No, I think she's too deep in it. I think she finds them lovely. Very interesting too.
So take +1 forward. Eamon, Bachelorette number 3. Sim question.
So, I think when I first saw them, my initial reaction is I thought I would find them frightening. But as soon as I actually like looked at them, they just started to sit in my mind as just another kind of people. So I guess beautiful would probably be the way, but it's not what he was expecting.
Definitely take +1 forward then. Clement, you're probably getting back from the ship, so we'll hold off on you for a second.
Okay.
Some of them are wearing jewelry made of gold or sea glass, and several have like circlets or even something approaching a crown on their heads. And the people of the island are all greeting them warmly. It's Angus. It's 100% clear to you that some of these people are family.
Like each other's family?
Yeah. And while you're standing there watching these, one of them comes up and Corey drops the pipe out of her mouth and goes, "Mother?" So
I guess we'll like step away a little bit to let them have their moment if they need it.
they embrace, and then she looks. The elder looks over at you. Sarah Marsh, pleased to meet you.
Angus, ma'am.
She looks at Corey, who blushes. Well, I take it you're a friend of my daughter.
We've had some good conversations.
She looks again at Corey, who's now blushing even worse. Let's have something to eat together then, you and me, Angus.
All right. He sort of, unfolds himself from. He's probably been like just, like leaning on a tree or whatever, and will move toward the fire or the gathering with her.
All right, so you're all seated at this feast. I think, Cap, this is when you arrive.
Yeah, do I find them beautiful or terrifying? I kind of want to say both, because what else are you supposed to say about God?
Ein jeder Engel ist schrecklich.
Yeah. I mean, if you're saying they're all terrible. Gosh. I can't say both, though, can I? I gotta choose. I guess awe is closer to beauty than terror overall.
Is it,
I
though?
mean, there's an argument either way.
So the
You know what? Everyone else has chosen beauty. I'm going to choose terror.
if terrifying, you are wary. Heal 1 harm or add 1 choice to your next act with force roll.
Okay.
So you actually chose the one that was useful to you. Wait, you don't have harm. I thought you had harm.
I don't. Lilith took 1 harm.
Ah, that's right. So when you arrive, the elders look wary around you, and several of them are whispering to each other, like, it's kind of like, is that him?
Yeah, the same kind of vibes, like half looking for someone that I recognize among their number. But just, yeah, like that weird kind of like, they have the aspect of the divine, but they're also like talking to these people like, one of them is somebody's mother. That weird kind of line. And that humanness of them, I think, is more what makes them wary.
Josias is talking very respectfully to a couple of the elders. And they're sort of nodding, but they're also like, there's a lot of, crossed arms and kind of blockade language going on. Like they're not happy with him or something.
There's tension.
Yeah, it's almost like, oh, hey, guys, I really like the Eagles now because I moved to Philadelphia. So this is why, like, yeah, you haven't earned it.
I'm gonna find a whistler in all of this, and
that's like,
because
these conversations are always good, so I encourage this.
He's also found me 12 new crew members. Yeah, like I've got the mirror, like kind of probably just like holding it, right, like with both hands, like hugging it a little bit. But yeah, come up to find you. What are you doing when I find you?
I think that I'm kind of just watching the crowd a bit, and I look a little incredulous.
It's beautiful. Isn't
Hi.
it?
It is. I I can't say that I didn't know what to expect when we got to this island. This wasn't it though. They're all just chummy. Some are friends, some are family. And they just walked right out of the ocean.
They're almost human.
I think they are, or partially. I mean, they're hugging, sharing food, having themselves a grand old time. I saw one of them weeping after getting some news. If that ain't people.
Does that feel right to you? I guess myself, I thought they'd be more divine.
I don't know if they are. Or maybe further down the divine line, you know? I don't think they're gods or even angels or like water angels. I don't think that's a thing. It might be, but
More sliced to your palms.
I
Same
mean,
as us.
yeah, I've heard the word elder bounced around here and there, so I think this is just them. Is this what the people of Kingsport become when they get older?
I don't know.
Neither do I. But I mean, I'm not worried. I just really don't know what to make of it.
No.
You think we're in any danger?
Do you feel as though you are?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of intruded on someone's
Family reunion.
yeah. And I don't know how they're gonna take it when they kind of take notice of me.
Where were you earlier? Where did you go?
Oh, Captain Rogers, who came out of the parents' pond there.
Yeah.
He took me to the other side of the island. Some of them fellas from that boat that sank in the storm, the one with that messenger. Where'd that messenger go, by the way? Is he around here?
Cat?
I haven't
Also,
seen him
for
in a
that
little bit.
matter, where's Phoebe?
Oh, I haven't even thought. Should just tie a string on her. I'll go find her in a minute. But there was some survivors from that boat on the other side of the island. I sent him up with a bit of food. Figured we could bring him home. All they had was a busted up boat. They were trying to make a little longer. See if
Do
they
we
can.
have the space for them?
We have a bit of space here and there. I have a sneaking suspicion that
How
some of the
many of them were there?
Pembletons. 12?
You get the feeling that Clement's doing some math in his head real quick. Interesting.
Guy. But I don't want to leave him here for many reasons. If push comes to shove, I'll stick him in the brig. They'll be happier there than out on the open water.
I don't think that will be necessary.
Nah,
We'll
neither
see.
do I. But, I'm still trying to make heads or tails of all this. With all this strangeness going on, to just show up and all of a sudden, happy family reunion. How you doing, Cousin Larry? Feels a bit odd.
If you think so, but Whistler, you said before that you'd made your choice and that you'd chosen the sea.
It's who I am. I chose the sea. What'd you choose, Captain? I wasn't there.
I don't think I did choose.
If
And I
there's
can't
ever
help feeling again that I've made another mistake.
That actually seems like the good cut line. So yeah, let's see this long-awaited Lilith Angus conversation, and then we will rapidly speed to the end.
Oh boy. Yeah, what is Lilith doing at this this gathering?
I think she knows almost intuitively that these creatures are not themselves defined, though they are closer to. They have a bit of both. And as someone who has found herself a cat mouse, she is intrigued by this. So I think she's kind of interviewing them. She's like going around and talking to them, like asking about their experiences, their lives, whether or not they know the Fathomless. And if that term is not familiar to them, I think she tries to describe what the Fathomless are. Yeah, I mean, I think she's very much trying to kind of anthropological study here.
Yeah, I think Angus has, given Corey and her mother a bit of space to catch up. I get the impression, and I think he would get the impression that these are not necessarily, that people don't necessarily get to see their family from below the depths with any great regularity. So I think he'll sort of drift in your direction. Miss Belvedere.
Oh, Angus.
Evening.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Are you all right? And I think he's sort of like trying to gently kind of like lead you away from whoever you were, grilling, just to give them a bit of space.
Probably wise. I think so. I feel the beginning of a shift. It is hard to articulate.
Do you always interview all the guests at dinner parties you attend?
Only when they have fins.
So you had an interesting conversation at the ruins up there.
As I said, beginning of a change, a choice, a new beginning.
I guess I've just been curious for some time now as to why that's something you're chasing so badly.
It has been everything. It has been who I am. The pursuit of the Fathomless, the study of them. It is consuming, in a way. Not perhaps as Clement was consumed, but a different kind of eating.
But you can learn about things without... I mean, I know a lot about animals. I still know who I am and who I'm not.
Angus, if you say you were a predator, or perhaps you were prey.
I've been both. I think most of us have.
Do you think prey ever wants to become predator? That they aspire for something more?
I don't think it's more. I think it's just different. And as I said, lots of things are both.
To be both, though, is to be only part of one. To be controlled and chased and, I suppose, to fear to encounter predators when you yourself are prey. Is it not better to be predator yourself? Chase away anything else out of the dark because you have the power to.
He's thoughtful. He's trying to figure out how to articulate his response to this. I think if you don't have both, everything falls apart. And I don't think there's any grand design to who gets to be which. And I've seen a lot of situations where something gets into a situation where it's able to be more of a predator than it was before, and it does a lot of harm. Have you ever had a house cat? You're from a fancy family. I know sometimes you do.
Yes,
Your house cat
Yeah.
go outside?
of course.
Ever found dead songbirds in your yard?
On occasion, yes.
It's not good for it's not good for a place when something gets into it and starts killing like that. It's not good when a predator moves someplace where that isn't. You know how they talked about balance when this evening started? I don't know. You know me at this point. You know I don't go in for a lot of this. I'm not a person of faith, Lilith, but I do believe that there's a balance, and I do believe that the world finds its own much better than we can try and tilt the scales.
It is interesting to hear you talk of something you believe in.
I never said I didn't
also,
believe in anything.
I know, but you know, I may study my Fathomless, but I'm not an acolyte. My pursuit of them is intellectual, and my desire to apotheose is not out of love for them or out of some sort of worship.
It's a desire for power.
Perhaps. But I think, too, it is because I understand them. And I think you say that predators can be bad for an ecosystem. I agree. To have a predator that can control the others, can be an influence upon them, can guide them away from a cluster of songbirds as one does a dark whale from capsizing a ship. It is a powerful influence, and it is a calling.
Begging your pardon, but I think anyone who professes to understand what's going on here is deluding themselves. I said the same to the captain before, and I think thinking that you can control it, thinking that you can control anything out there at scale in the world is the height of self-centeredness, I guess.
You would call me arrogant.
I guess
I
I
understand. I understand why, but perhaps
I know
control.
It's not polite, but
I appreciate the candor. No, I think that control is perhaps not the right word. It is a kind of influence, a kind of...
No, I mean, don't downplay your ambitions on my part.
No.
I think you meant what you said.
No, I do, in a sense. It is not, however, a raw desire for power. It is not just to control, because I, like you, see the power of nature, and I know that to think that you can control it in its entirety is a fool's errand. But to know it, to be able to read a sky and understand when a storm is coming, to want to learn more about it, the pursuit of knowledge, the desire for knowledge, that is what drives me. And at some point,
Well,
knowledge must prevail.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I know how to read a sky and tell what weather is coming, and I know a lot about the world around me, or at least I do when I'm back home. And all of that knowledge has never made me think for even 1 second that I deserve to have power over it.
I do not believe I deserve to have power over it, Angus Melanson.
Well, you're saying you want to have power over it.
I'm saying that the only way to know the unknown is to go know it. No one has done that.
I'm telling you that I have, and many people have in their own small ways. And what you're describing is something different.
And with that, there's a sound of conch horns blowing. And everyone from the feast is getting up and moving back down that trail into the woods.
I think Lilith casts one last look at you as she begins walking towards the forest.
Yeah, and I think he's going to follow and sort of see what's going on. He's been, sort of keeping an eye on the situation to date, but he is going to say one last, just whatever you do, be honest about your reasons for doing it. And then he's going to sort of, again, he's following what's going on, but he's still standing. He moves to be more apart from it so that he can sort of not get swept up in things.
Corey grabs your arm and pulls you off the path.
Mm-hmm. He's not opposed to getting off the path.
Listen, Angus. If you want, you can come with me. There's a proa down the other end of the island that its owner will no longer need shortly. I can get us perhaps as far as Batavia, and from there we could sail to Guangdong or Madras or anywhere.
What's about to happen here?
They're going to garden this place. Now, for some, that is to be wished, and for others, it shall terrify. I don't know how you feel about me. All I know is that of all the people I've encountered, you're the one I'd rather splice with than anyone else. And if you ever felt that way, well, then our children would partake of the heritage of many kinds. Whatever. No pressure, I'm just saying. But
I think he doesn't
leave, come with me.
He doesn't laugh at this because the situation's too tense, but you can tell that there's a realization of sort of the absurdity of that situation. And he's like, I'm not anxious to stay around and be gardened, certainly. Where's Eamon Barnes?
I think he's up the trail.
I think Eamon has just awkwardly started following the procession because he doesn't know what else to do.
I told him that if things would go bad, I would try and get people out.
Go hit him over the head, Angus.
Well, so the three of you who are up ahead, people fill in and they're gathering in a circle around around that pond, and all of them are chanting in different languages, but the Innsmouthers are closest to you guys, and you can hear them chanting, Father, Dagon, Mother, Hydra, Father, Dagon, Mother, Hydra. And the pool ripples again, and two forms rise out of it, and they go through that thing where they're changing multiple times, and it looks like each time they're changing it to something that's appropriately styled for the people for one group of people here, until finally they sort of give up and split and just like a paper string of paper dolls, multiple forms wrap around the little pond. But the ones that are closest to you, Eamon Burns, are a well-dressed gentleman with colored eyeglasses and a well-dressed lady.
Oh. Oh, hello again. It's you two. You're the parents?
We welcome all our children today, Eamon Burns.
Oh. Are you welcoming me as well?
We invite. You have sailed so many seas, Eamon Burns. You are not of the waves, but you know them. As much as a person, as a child of the land can, we honor you.
Oh. Thank you. It's a great honor for me.
Now they're sort of just addressing everyone. All life comes from the sea, and all life in the sea came from us. We are the progenitors. We were made in our own image, and we have made you in the images that we have imagined. Now we are glad to welcome you home. Step forth, Lilith Belvedere.
She does?
You know our offer. Will you take it?
Oh, my Fathomless, my dear friends. Do you know how I knew that you could not be my Lavinia? Lavinia does not love me. She tolerates my attentions, yes. She is polite, well-mannered, well-coiffed. She cannot snub me without explanation, and so she accommodates me, listens to my lectures, feigns interest in my research, or so it is I fear. It is a darkness that spools and roils in the inner tides of my mind's sea, the doubt which breaks my intellect and disarms me, that her smiles are brilliant but placid, her laughter forced, her letters pleasant and inauthentic. And I yearn for a certainty that I can never have, and that is the door through which I will welcome you. That is the foundation upon which I will build.
Lilith Belvedere, we do not love you either.
It is not love I seek. I would like to be your architect, to sit in your pantheon with your messenger and your dreamer. For it was foretold in mouse literature. Her castle shall be overgrown with thorns, her fortresses with thistles and briars. She shall become an abode for jackals and a haunt for ostriches. Wild cats shall meet with desert beasts. Satyrs shall call to one another. There shall the Lilith repose and find for herself a place to rest.
Waste not our time with the worthless poetry of those of the land. We reck only by the music of the waves.
The pen is mightier than a sword, but it snaps like a bendy reed under your pressure.
There is no ink in the waves, and there is so much that you will unlearn, and so deep shall be your oblivion, Lilith Belvedere. But your pact is sealed, and your price has been paid.
I am ready to chase the questing beast into the wilderness, for the thrill of it, for the puzzle, to ask you about your history.
Wait but a moment. Angus, if you want to act under pressure, now's your moment. You are the strider. You can definitely come through the woods without anybody seeing you.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I think Justin said that Eamon was more towards the edges of things. And he's definitely the person who's expressed the most wariness about this entire situation. So if I can attempt to pull someone away, it would probably be him I would go for. Well, let's see. That is a 9. Nope, wait. I have a 2 in balance, so that is a 10.
It's an 11 because you also have +1 forward.
So I do.
Yeah. All right. So you're able to get to Eamon and kind of drag him into the woods.
Eamon.
What's going on?
Miss Marshier has said that things are about to go very... and I think he'll glance over to her and sort of amend whatever... strangely. And that now is the time to leave, if leaving at all is going to be possible.
Oh, what's about to happen? I mean, we got like half the crew over there.
He looks over to Corey because obviously what she said to him was relatively vague.
How can I explain? Those who are to apotheos shall be taken up, and those who do not wish that will have a chance to prove their worth by escaping.
Oh.
I think I've made my views on this sort of transcendent bullshit very clear, so I think I am going to be leaving.
Oh, I'll try to get the captain and see if we might be able to pull him away. You should try to get Lilith.
I don't think she wants to be got.
I know, but you know, her crew, her mates, someone's got to talk clear to her.
So, Eamon, remember how I had that hold on you?
Oh,
You can go right now, and you will be able to go with Corey and Angus and probably get to the boat with time to spare. And by the boat, I don't mean the ship. I mean this proa, which is basically a large outrigger with a sail. If you stay and be with the captain, well, you're going to be a witness to things. Choose now, the sea or the land.
I can't leave the captain behind.
Okay. And Angus will look... I think like something flashes in his face. Like he's definitely... It's a choice he respects. It's a choice he's saddened by because he does not see a way for things to like end super well for people who linger over long here. I think, he has honed a sense of when to cut and run if you want to like get out of a situation unscathed, for sure. So like that flashes in his eyes, in his face, and he's just like, well, I truly wish you the best. I am very glad to have been on this voyage with you despite everything.
Oh, and I'll say this to you. When you first showed up, you weren't even hunting whales. You were out there spearing sharks. And I was just surprised you knew which end to throw. But you've become a fine sailor, and you've been a fine companion on this trip. I thank you. And, you keep this up, I could see you being a fine mate. Maybe even a good husband to that lady there.
Corey blushes
I certainly
again.
I certainly won't be on a whaler, I think.
I wouldn't recommend it. But I have to do this, The captain needs someone watching his back, and I have to see this to the end. I couldn't tell you why. It's just how I feel.
So
It's
Corey
a
just looks at you and say, "Hey, Eamon, you won't be able to follow us. We have to leave now to get there. But if you have a chance to rescue people, I suggest you head for that schooner the castaways were building.
I
It
remember
will
where
float."
You take care of him now, Corey. And hey,
well,
if it weren't for me, you'd be the best mate on that boat.
Thanks, Eamon.
well, if you're going to treat this like a story, I hope that you find a good ending for it. And he is going to go off with Corey into the woods.
Can I add one retroactive small thing? In the earlier scene with Angus and Lilith, can Lilith have just wordlessly passed Angus a letter addressed to Lavinia? Dearest Sam, I have plunged into a pact with Thalassic and cosmic powers, and there is no way out but through. I was burned by the white-hot light of a far-distant star, and the unknown depths of sea and cosmos open upward. Worry not, it is a tonic, an elixir that strengthens me, emboldens me to struggle against the walls of my chrysalis, to push and stretch my sticky wings, paper-thin but with new musculature. The stars are a light in our house, shining stronger, burning brighter until they burn away the decay, make ashes of the life that I was to lead, all of it lost in white fire. Do centuries progress at the same pace on the other side of the looking glass? What to say to the fly trapped in amber, but to hold on and hold still and remember yourself so that you are not lost. It won't be strange at first, the fade of you from my memory. After all, you are like a capricious wind, you come and go at your leisure. My memories of you will become less saturated, their color draining, the sharpest details in your rosy lips blurring, your movements sluggish and dull. I will wonder what happened to you. Your name will not now stay upon the page. The letters, they slip from the parchment like sand through a sieve, but I have not forgotten it. It sounds in my mind with the clarity of a bell pealing, the assuredness of a drumbeat. I know not what ill will befall me, or where even to begin to look for you where I am going. So in my helplessness, I am writing you this letter on the back of a sketch I made of you that I meant to give to you but never did, and now I fear I never shall. I am not sure what is worse, that something will happen to you, or that I know that I will fail you by not being there when it does. I wish I had the time, the strength to tell you, to show you, that you were never just a lighthouse, my dear, but the light. Remember me to our forest, my love. El Belvedere.
So, back at the pond as Eamon makes his way there, parents look at you, Clement Thorne. Have you anything that you wish to say to us? We marked you out. We brought you from the waves. We cast you back upon the land. What have you done with our gift, Clement Thorne?
Everything that you wanted. For everything that I have given you over the years that you have not appreciated, give me my ghosts. Give me my ship and the people who love me and whom I love in return.
It's not for us to meddle with the affairs of the land.
I am not of the land.
We told you the price you would have to pay if you want to come with us. You must cut all ties to the land.
Is a ship of the land. It was built there, but it does not reside there. Are the sailors on the sea of the land when they spend more time on the water than on the rocks or the ghosts that I have dragged behind me like a
that-
sea anchor of the land.
That does not change their nature. And it is an anchor, Clement Thorne, and to come with us, you must slip you the cable. We can't give you ghosts. We can give you oblivion.
That's not what I want anymore. You had the chance for me to give that to you, and you didn't take it. And like the harpoon of whalebone, like I'm just gonna drop that into my hand.
Now you truly are our Jonah. And we shall harden our hearts to you. Now comes the reckoning. Let those who are called come, be with us, be transformed, and one day walk again. And let those who wish this life longer earn it. And from the pool, two huge amorphous forms rise, slop out over the sides of the pool, gibbering and pouring strange fluids out in their path. Anyone that is within the immediate area, they grab and pull inside their amorphous protoplasmic-like mass, and the countless mouths and eyes upon them dart and gibber, and the one thing they keep saying is "Tika-lee! Tika-lee!" So, Lilith, let's start with you. What do you do?
Can I actually don't know if this is possible, but maybe I will see. Can I call Raphael?
It sure sounds like looking beyond.
I would like to do that. So I have +2 to beyond. That is a 6, 3, 2, 11.
12 technically. You had +1 forward.
Oh, well, plus that.
So you shout for Raphael, and then you see him kind of lying cat-like on a one of the blocks of the ruin. Looks down at you. It's like, oh, it's my favorite hamster.
Is this the way to the center of the maze?
Say way. I mean,
What's your way?
well, my way does tend to keep you more human, and less having your entire personality wiped out as you become one in body with the them.
I signed a contract, well, sort of, with you, not with them.
I see. All of a sudden now you want my offer.
Well, I took your offer, technically.
Yeah, but a mouse signed that.
I'm always a cat mouse. I have been from the beginning. I just worry this will make me less cat.
What shall I do with you? You could be useful. But at the same token, this is not really an honest transaction. I mean, not that I care.
Well, if you don't care, then why not transact?
Well, are you really a mouse thing, huh?
I'm a cat mouse.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to be a predator. But if it is a choice between less than prey and remaining what I am, then I would keep myself.
Yeah, an old friend of mine has an opening for a job. Her friend Brown Jerkin, he's kind of getting along in the tooth, and She could use a new rat thing. Could give you that job.
Can I work my way up to architect?
Hey, there's growth opportunities. There are opportunities for growth,
I know a thing or two about impossible geometry. I could probably figure out how to light corridors with wild starlight, if given the opportunity. Maybe not as flashy as what you did back at the top of the mast, but I can learn in time. I'm a quick study.
How you feel about working away from home?
Ah, now you're speaking my language. And I think she looks up.
He reaches down, pulls you up. Welcome to the team. Might send you back a little bit. What do you know about 1692?
Not very much, but I expect I'll find out.
And I guess with that, you two vanish. Eamon. Clement.
Yeah.
So, Captain, if I have this right, we go with
Lee.
and we become like them, he says, indicating the elders.
And Clement just shakes his head. I don't think that's what's going to happen to me.
What do you think's gonna happen to you?
You can do what you like.
Look, Lilith just disappeared. I mean, not with those things. I mean, with someone else.
I know. I saw.
Should we try to grab as many men as women as we can and get out of here?
And like turns and looks at you, right? And like. And then puts the mirror like down on the ground. If I'm going to leave here, it's going to be on that ship. Oh, let me see. I don't know. Well, let me look at my moves. What I really want to do is like use this mirror as like a portal to like get back to the ship. But that seems like high magic.
Oh, acting under pressure would allow you to dash back for the shore.
Via mirror? Yeah.
I would say act on act
the
under
mirror.
pressure with beyond, which is the same stat. So.
Cool. Put the mirror on the ground and like like tell Aemon like if I'm leaving here it's going to be on that ship and then like point at it like stand here.
I look in the mirror.
You just see the reflection of the parents, and they said, "Choose the sea or the land, Aemon."
Captain, I think you should get back to the boat.
Like takes your arm and bodily moves you onto the mirror as he tells you, I am trying.
I fight off the captain's the grip. I don't think you understand, Captain. For the first time ever, I hear the music that everyone else heard on the Solano. I think it's the sea finally calling me. I have to go.
And like close his eyes, right? So he doesn't have to look at you. Then do what you like.
Guy. Safe travels, Captain. And you know, try to take care of Phoebe. I know she's a bit odd, but she also has a frail constitution. I think she's had enough sea air for a while, you know?
Do we know where Phoebe is at all?
I mean, I do, but
We don't, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, Captain. Safe travels.
And yeah, do you go step into the gibbering mess?
Yeah, I do.
all right. I guess, Captain, you're gonna need to roll.
I guess so. Trying, that's what counts, right? That's, what's this, plus or minus or whatever?
Plus beyond, which is the same as balance for you.
It's a 7 on the dice, so it's 9.
Okay. Okay. You are back on the deck of the Calypso. Elias is there. He's already got an axe. He's cutting the anchor cable. He glances up at you. He's like, I honestly don't want to share my uncle's fate.
And like, what crew do we even have left?
I believe I have given you the entire roster.
Okay.
But you can definitely get a sail up. You can get the ship underway. I mean, it's not going to go fast because you're only going to be able to get a couple of the sails turned over, but there is unsurprisingly a brisk breeze now blowing from the interior of the island.
Yeah, and like, this is a thing I've done 1,000 times before.
Right. Actually, while you're working on that, a couple of the locals come swimming up and climb on the ship. And they look around at you like, what to do?
And like, there's that moment, right, where I look around for like Whistler to tell them what to do because he's the first mate and he's not there.
Okay. So the Calypso begins.
Elias, I guess.
The Calypso begins to glide out of the harbor. But you rolled a 7.
Yeah.
And I have hold on
You have
you.
several hold, I think. I gave you another.
I did. Yep, you did. So the ship is underway, but as you approach the mouth of the lagoon, tentacles arch out of the water and try to grab the ship.
I am going to go to the prow of the ship and, like, if I can see any eye or heart or anything, just like that whalebone harpoon.
Well, there's definitely something down there that you can throw at, so...
Yeah, take it up and just throw it down into the dark.
From hell's heart, I spit my final breath at thee. That is act with force.
+1. -1, so it's +0. I feel like I need to switch my love too at some point. Or maybe that already happened and I rolled a 6 and my old love hates me.
Well, you did kind of blow them off.
I asked them to give me what? Oh my goodness, that is a 12.
Well,
+1 -1 is a 12.
choose 3.
Choose 4.
Oh, that's right. You're terrified.
I take definite hold of it, the situation. I suffer little harm. I inflict terrible harm. I impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy.
So you do.
Hat trick.
But I still got a hold on you.
You do. You do indeed.
So this is what happens. You stab the beast. It recoils. It releases some of its tentacles, but you can feel at the same time the ship take a sudden lurch as something grabs it on the keel. But the boats are free in the back, and Elias and several of the other people leap for one of them.
I have so many other moves that I want to bring to bear here. I think make a sacrifice might be worthwhile because I've also got these 2 hold left that I can use. You know, I also want to know what happens when I get to full hold. Cat, I really do. Yes, like, is the boat like breaking, or is this something that I can reverse and it's just got hold of it?
It wasn't a good feeling. Your guess is something is stove part of the hull and
I would like to make a sacrifice.
what are you going to sacrifice?
One of those options is you keep the one you love safe. Maybe it's the boat now.
What are you sacrificing?
Myself.
So you're just gonna leap into the water?
Yep, sure, why not? Same as before.
Into the drink you go. The last thing you hear is the squeal of the davits as the boat lowers. And as you are sucked into the depths, you see Edlund rising up to you, grabbing you.
I would like to try to pull him to the surface. Or would you like me to roll make sacrifice first?
Yes, you should definitely roll to make a sacrifice here.
That's plus beauty. That is another really good roll. It is a 10. Choose 2. Your sacrifice provides critical opportunity. That's always a good one. And I guess you keep the one you love safe.
Is that the people getting off the ship?
I can't. Why can't I love more than one person at once, Cat?
I don't know. I'll take it up with them. I mean, I'm sure they're not opposed to poly, so...
So is that like, I guess when I was rolling it, it was for the ship and like the crew. And
Yeah,
all
well,
that.
I mean, you could have this moment as you're plunging into the waves when you realize that the crew is actually the ship.
That's true. So yeah, let's count that for now, and then yeah.
All right. You and Edlund are just hovering in the water. You try and grab him, but you realize that this is not that physical projection that you saw earlier. This is a spiritual Edlund. And he says, I'm not wroth with you anymore.
Then come with me.
You know I can't. Come with me.
If I can do it, then so can you. It shouldn't have ended when it did, and it didn't. We got another chance.
The only way to do that is to go through them.
Do you really believe that after everything?
I'm dead. I can't walk the earth again.
Then sail the seas.
One way or the other, this is goodbye for us. Either you say goodbye to what you were, or I say goodbye to you.
Just come with me.
I can't. I would if I could. But I can't want you any longer. Neither of us can survive it.
And I think, yeah, like look back at the ship, right? Which is like Sans Angus, Sans Corey, Sans Whistler, and like all the people on it that I did know. And then looking back at him, right, this person who does love me back. Take his hand.
He caresses your hair as gradually the light dies out around you. So, Angus, on your way down the trail, Corey is leading the way. When all of a sudden you hear her give a sharp cry, and she staggers back with a knife sticking out of her side, and Martin Eccles stands out onto the trail.
Oh, God.
I told you we would have words again, you and I.
You did. I can't see what Miss Marsh has to do with it.
That was unfortunate. I thought it was you. I'll make amends after I'm done with you.
Martin, you know why I did what I did.
Aye, and you know why I must, despite that, do something. It's obligation. I know you understand that. You're an honorable man. I know that about you. Let me
Yeah, he
be
gives a
honorable
slow
too.
nod.
Let me be honorable too.
I think you forfeited that by attacking a bystander.
Then I shall settle up with the Almighty, I am sure.
Is he still armed?
Yeah, I think he draws a cutlass.
All right, well, I am also armed, I suppose, so don't love this whole situation. But as he pointed out, like, Angus knew the bill would come due way back when he did make the decision to kill a guy. I don't think he's a person who shies away from consequences, but nor is he going to sit there and let himself be executed. So I guess that is time to act with force.
Sounds like it.
That is a 7, because unlike everyone else on this boat, I do actually have a positive modifier to brawn.
So choose 2.
I think I'm going to choose I suffer little harm and I take definite hold of the situation. I don't think Angus wants to get pulled into a whole cycle of violence thing, and I don't think he is.
What weapon were you
Martin.
using? What weapon were you using?
My knife, probably.
All right. So yeah, you get in under his guard pretty easy and give him one right in the ribs like he gave to Corey. And he staggers back. Well, all right then. He sits heavily under a tree.
Yeah.
I consider my honor satisfied.
He was never worth it, Martin. He was a monster.
I know.
I just want this matter settled.
It's settled as far as I am concerned. You'd best get going.
Take care.
He kind of looks down the trail where there's clearly a sound of a ruckus. He goes, I will.
Yeah, and he'll push the outrigger off with he'll load Corey into it, push it off, and then he wants to get them away from this little island. But then once they're safely out of the lagoon, he's gonna devote significantly more attention to making sure that she doesn't just fucking die.
There's definitely a paddle that you use. So you roll it out onto the surf and it carries you away from the island and over the coral reef. Corey is clutching her sides. We're made of fairly tough stuff, Angus, but that did hurt.
Looked like it. I suppose I owe you for saving my life twice tonight, even if the second time was mostly happenstance.
Considering you got me out of there, I would say that's been repaid.
No, we'll have to see about the other once we're clear of the situation.
Well, so for some hours you hear strange noises from the island, but at dawn there's a hush, and slowly coming out of a fog bank is a half-finished schooner with several people on it, including Oscar, who is at the helm. He looks down at you two. Do you need a ride, or are you all right?
I think a ride would be appreciated. It's been an eventful night.
Well, we're making for Tahiti.
Tahiti would suit, I think.
Ship's gone.
Any word from the rest of the crew?
This is the rest of the crew. There's like maybe 20 guys there.
Yeah. He gives a quick look, notes that Eamon did not get out, which, again, he expected, I think, when he said goodbye, but regrets nonetheless. And then, we'll try and find the, is our good friend Silence Milligan on board?
Yes, I think she is.
I think he'll, just wave her over to tend to Corey.
Yep. So as Oscar starts setting the ship on its course, he just looks down and like, I don't know about you, Mr. Mallinson, but I have no desire to ever go back to Kingsport, Massachusetts.
He looks again, he struggles internally with it for sure, because I think he does still have a lot of ties to home. But I think he's just like, well, if I learned whaling, or half learned whaling, I'm sure I can learn anywhere else, frankly.
Corey just looks up, grimacing as as Silence works on her wounds. Says, I said I'd make you a first-rate sailor. Think that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that was Kingsport 1851 Part 2. Well, folks, thank you for everything. This was amazing.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I can't say enough. You guys were great. I feel like this ended the way it had to. So thank you all. And
I think a lot of these characters' trajectories were set pretty early, but that doesn't mean it wasn't satisfying to play it out.
Oh,
Thank
big
you.
time, yeah.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate and admire everything you guys did in this one. So thank you very much. And at some point, we'll see the volume 3 of this. So till then, guys, have a great night. Now small fowls flew screaming over the yawning gulf. Then all collapsed, and the great shroud of the sea rolled on as it rolled 5,000 years ago. I would have the post-credit. There would be the post-credit scene, which shows Phoebe on the beach at night while all this is happening, and all of a sudden looking up, going, "I'm free! It's broken!" And leaping into the air as a great white albatross and wheeling away. I finally shut everybody up.
Listen, you see somebody take a gulp full of seawater after coming out of a sea
Cask.
sarcophagus. Yeah.
Do you feel haunted now?
I don't feel like he's after revenge.
That was very creepy.
Do you feel haunted though? Yes.
I was listening to a music video. It ends, and immediately I hear, "Do you feel haunted?" So thanks. I'm gonna sleep well.
You're welcome.
I have to say, the Pop Goes the Weasel was really, really menacing.
Yeah, it was a little
Right.
bit.
You're waiting for the weasel to pop.
Wow. Hey, Justin, I finally devoured one of your characters.
Listen,
Got him.
it happened the one time, and it's not against my nemesis. All right.
Tika Lee. Tika Lee.